All right. Okie dokies. Let me get this set up and go from there and let everybody know in live. Oh, there's 4 of you here already. Hold on now. Hold on. Y'all got too excited for me. Hi. Give me just a second. I need to share this because I set it for 6:25. I had to take Bo out. So I wasn't sure if I would make it at 6, which I knew I wasn't going to. Okay, I did it. I did the thing. All right. Now let me act like I'm somewhat professional. Hi, everybody. I'm so glad to see you guys. Thank you. Make sure if you haven't already that you hit the thumbs up, like, and share this video. Hey, Legutta Gang. Hey, y'all. I'm so happy to see you. Chris, Bethany, Kimberly, Teresa, Felisa, Yolanda, Emily. Hey, guys. So first, I know you guys are disappointed, but we did have to reschedule. Me and Teresa did go ahead and reschedule, and I'm really glad for that because honestly, I am in a bit of a somber mood, and I've been trying to lighten it up. Also, my hair. Yay. Hey, Trip Around the World. Hey, Mindy. I think you have to pop out of the chat to do the thumbs up. You have to, if you're on your phone, here, I can actually show it to you. I'm being a jackass. If you're on your phone, you hit the X so that you pop out of the chat, and then you hit the thumbs up here. And then you're like, yay. So that is how you do that. A lot of us, if you don't know, actually have our live chat on here because going through StreamYard, it can be a little bit ahead or behind. Just depends. It's usually a little bit behind. So I just want to make sure that I've said all of that. I'm really glad to see you guys. So if you have not seen Nappy Headed Jojoba's video, which she's going to be live after me, if you have not seen her video, please watch it. I didn't get it linked below in time, but please watch it. Thank you. It's one of the reasons why I am in a bit of a somber mood because I have had to confront my blackness once again, and it has just kind of crushed me a little bit, and I'm trying to stay in a good, positive mood. And so I know that that is not what you guys came for. So I'm not going to, get on my soapbox and do all of that and upset the masses. I don't want to do that. But I really think that if you have not seen Nappy Headed Jojoba's latest video, I'll have it linked later. For those of you in the live chat, you will get to see that when it goes live. And for those of you watching this on the replay, you will be able to see that. It'll be in the description below. So please check that video out. It's very much, thank you, Emily. Emily has linked that video. Please watch that. It's very important. It's, gosh, guys, before we get started on the fun stuff, I'll hit the somber and we'll end on a high note. I'm going to tell you one of the reasons that I have a pit bull, aside from my anxiety and all of that, is because Black people and pit bulls have a lot in common. We are both highly misunderstood. We are seen as aggressive. We are seen as dangerous, and we are seen as something that should be put down. And, so we're kindred spirits. I, like a lot of Black people, have had to bury our heads in the sand in a lot of different ways for survival. So it's easier to pretend you don't see these things happening, and also the indoctrination of how they treat us and how we treat each other. It's one of the reasons why it's hard for all Black people to actually come together, because we've been indoctrinated over and over and over again to dislike one another over the tone of our skin. If you're lighter, then you're somehow better, and we fight with each other over this kind of shit. Meanwhile, we're getting shot in the streets like dogs. It doesn't even matter. And so you bury your head in the sand to survive. I've done that for a very long time, but I can't do it anymore. It's getting harder and harder and harder and harder to just pretend that I'm not Black. it's getting harder for me to act like these things aren't happening. And, my survival now just hinges upon me literally just thinking about leaving, finding a way to get out of here. And I was so glad that T touched on that, because even my mother's been saying that. I mean, Canada's cold, but at least they ain't shooting me in the streets like I ain't shit. So like, I don't know. Felisa, one of my white Facebook friends was complaining about not being able to go to a tanning salon right now. I replied how it was a fairly problematic to me. Yeah. So that's actually one of the reasons I got rid of your tan. Yeah. I replied how my tan was fairly problematic to me. Yeah, because I mean, you guys, that's why I got rid of Facebook. Honestly, I got rid of Facebook because I was tired of seeing the rampant racism on there, of people just trying to like constantly defend some bullshit ass actions and be like, we don't know the whole story. So I was like, no. But all of that, the majority of that conversation is actually going to be on my Patreon, where I feel like, we're family and all y'all are family, but this is just a smaller portion of my family, and we can really discuss this without bringing everybody else down and upsetting them. So I don't want to go in that direction. So now let's talk about Friday the 13th, and let's lighten the mood and be happy and joyous and just like do what we came here for. So K Vinyl, I saw you, ma'am. I saw you. You said you watched some of the movies. I have not gotten to listen to, was it Cove? Was it Cove that you were telling me to watch? Because I didn't get to write it down, and you were telling me to listen to them, and I was like, damn it. And I couldn't remember the name. So I was like, oh, Makeup Mukbang. Hey, how are you doing? See, this is why I have this phone, because this is ahead of y'all. Like, it's ahead of my StreamYard. So I like to make sure that I can welcome y'all come in. Yolanda. Oh yeah, the platform. I haven't watched that yet. Yolanda, you are messy. Let's talk about horror. Well, because here's the fun thing about horror, okay? Horror is this place where you can confront a large amount of your fears without actually having anything happen to you. Unless you want to go to one of those extreme haunted houses, which I would not recommend at all. Hey, James, how you doing? So Friday the 13th is really, first of all, it's part of the Holy Trinity of horror. If you are in the religion, if you are part of the horror religion, Friday the 13th is part of the Holy Trinity. Halloween and the Nightmare on Elm Street makes up that Holy Trinity. Now, I know people are like, wait, what? There's a Holy Trinity of horror? Yes, there is. So Friday the 13th is in there. I think that was either right at 80 or 79. I can't remember, because they all kind of came out like boop, 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 boop. It was like Halloween, Friday the 13th, and Nightmare on Elm Street. And Chris, yes, James is a wonderful member of the Legetta gang. So you did not know about Penny Dreadful? Ooh, I got a cool ass Penny Dreadful mug, and I won't use it because it's like, I can't. It's like, it's y'all. And I did not link everything on my face today, but like, there's a specific reason why. One of these, this is a mystery foundation, y'all. Yes. So yeah. And that's the thing. A lot of people will keep, like, I kept Facebook for a long time for family and stuff like, but then I was like, you know what? Y'all have my number. Fuck that. Like, I am not going to, it is, because I can filter and filter and filter. I just got tired of having to filter my Facebook down to like avoid this. And then there are people who are my friends who'll say some dumb shit, and then I'm like hiding them, and I like them, but I don't like the dumb shit that they say. So it just becomes like a whole thing. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to get off Facebook, and then I don't have to see your dumb shit. Like, I'm good. Ooh, I am a tease. Thank you, Felisa. Yes, that is the Holy Trinity of horror. So, oh, you know what? Chris has not met Mark yet. We'll see if Mark shows up, because it is, let's see, it's 12:20 in the morning, I think, over there. So if he shows up, like, I'm so sorry, Mindy. Like, I just went to a cemetery in the snow that said Myers. I said Michael. Yes. Yes, because man, listen, when you run into, hi Sherry, it's so nice to see you. Yay. Yeah, I do that too. So you know what I found out is if I just, my Instagram is far more better, like far more better. My Instagram is better for seeing like cute and fun things because I'm generally only following accounts that I want to see that kind of shit from. So it's like I'm not getting this like miss hodgepodge of like anger and like these bitter angry incels who are just like bitches ain't shit. I'm like, you ain't shit. Like I have seen you, sir. I have seen you. mm. So Friday the 13th, the original one, the very first Friday the 13th, stars Kevin Bacon. That's right. Kevin Bacon. And he gets an arrow through the throat, which, by the way, it turned out to be like very, very dangerous. He almost got stabbed with the arrow. Like, no joke. If you watch some of the behind the scenes stuff, and when there's a documentary about Friday the 13th, but yeah, he did almost genuinely get stabbed in the throat with that arrow that goes, because it's a prosthetic and there's a bunch of blood. But one of the cool things about Friday the 13th and its ilk, the part of the Holy Trinity, is all of these movies were made on really tight ass budgets because they could not, like, nobody, and horror still is made on a tight budget. I know people will look now and be like, $2 million isn't tight. Well, by today's standards, it is. 2 mil is a shit ton of money. That, what is he doing? Bo? Y'all, I just called him, and when I tell you that he stopped moving, it is like I have a whole ass child. Anyways, yeah, my IG is, because I actually have 3. I have like a very, like 2 of my IGs are secret and hidden. Like one's my very, very personal page, which Emily, I need to get you on that one. Anyways, I have very, very, like I have my very, very secret one. And then I have my other super secret foodie one. And I just kind of keep it, you know, I keep it low key because one's like food and beer, mostly food and craft beer. And I just keep that super secret because I don't want people just like randomly following me and for no reason. Like I just want that to be food and beer. I don't want any makeup involved in that. Yes. That arrow kept me sleep. Listen, Friday the 13th is the reason I don't even say out loud, like, hello. Like if I hear a noise, I don't say that. If I'm nobody's fool. Friday the 13th is the reason I'm not like, who's out there? Is that you? Bo, trying to come through a door that's closed. This boy gets on my nerves. He is. Yes. So like, because the thing is, one of the things that makes Jason Voorhees such a good villain and so frightening and so scary is because he has nothing to say, right? He's not going to tell you why he's killing you. I mean, his mom explained it. But the thing about that is like Friday the 13th, which if you haven't seen Scream before, one of the questions that they asked Drew Barrymore at the start of that movie is like, who was the killer in Friday the 13th? And she yells out Jason, and he's like, incorrect. And she's like, no, I've seen that movie a million fucking times. Da, 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 da. And he's like, well, if you really saw that movie, then you would know that the killer was Jason's mother, Mrs. Voorhees. That's the thing that everybody forgets, because Jason really wasn't the powerhouse until the second one. Like, it was his mom in the first one. And she, crazy. Did you say playing Marco Polo with a whole killer? Yes, B. Horror movies teach you not to give away your location. Horror movies also teach you to use mirrors, like reflective surfaces, to like see what the hell's happening, right? You'd be like, and that's why I have a mirror right there in my living room. Like, it's like right, it faces my door. You guys think I'm kidding? There's a mirror and it faces my door, so that if I like peek up, I'm like, James, I got my hair done. So I did up my hair. So I can't wear a hat over a fresh dew, James. But yes, I do have a Camp Crystal Lake hat. I actually have a Camp Crystal Lake tee that I got from $6 t-shirts. $6 t-shirts is like my favorite fucking thing because they have so many different like horror tanks. That boy is over there causing a whole ass mess. Give me 1 second. Give me my shades. He's taking my sunglasses. Hold on a second. Boy, come here. Wow, give me my sunglasses. These are my good ones. Give me. God. Ew. I was successful. So sorry. So sorry, y'all. He gets excited. He runs around. He's like, blah, blah, blah. He's so ridiculous. Yes. You don't make out with guys in the dark, especially in their car. Okay, Vinyl, like you do, especially in the car. And if they're like, come on, don't be a prude. Be a prude. Be a prude, because you're gonna get killed if you don't. Bethany, there goes my social life. Ooh, Jeepers Creepers. Okay, listen. Jeepers Creepers, where'd you get those peepers? That song still gives me the creeps now. Like now if I hear it, I'm like, just like anything by John Denver. Yes, Yolanda. So here's the thing. If I go to your house party and I'm the only Black person there, I'm leaving immediately, especially if your house party is in the woods. I am gone. Okay. I'm leaving immediately. I'm going to walk in that door, be like, no Black people, goodbye. I'm not getting killed. Or if we're the only Black couple, also still leaving. Hey, COS is my name. I'm so glad to see you, ma'am. When I was a kid, we had a neighbor named Jason. Elieson. I don't know if I'm saying that right. And the older boys who watched the movie would tease him a lot. Yes. Yes, that is like the scary. Oh, gosh. See, Mindy's got it. Mm-hmm. You've got to be, don't take your top off and don't skinny dip, okay? Okay, so here's the thing. Like even in Jaws, right? She's like, titties out, everything's good. She just run around. And you know what happens? She got hit by a shark. See, Peppy, stop it. You stop it right now. Thank you. And the Scooby Gang was notorious for splitting up. And that is why I am always going to be a Shaggy and Scooby stan, because they were the only two. They were like, oh, we just need to eat these snacks over here. Y'all go do you. Of course, they always ended up being the ones that saved it, but thank you. That is the specific reason I don't camp. Friday the 13th is why I don't camp. Fuck camping. You're not going to get me to camp. You are not going to get me to go to camp, whatever. I'm not going. I am not going. It is not going to happen. You will not find my Black ass at camping ever, ever. No, no. Everyone knows the most important lesson. Tatas attract danger. And you know what? Tata is in the word attract. So you are right. I don't, no, see, nope. And camping is a scam. Camping is a scam. Why are people spending good money to just go like be out in the woods? Like you have air conditioning. Like, I don't understand that. Dude, what are you doing over there? Hacking stuff up. Hey, Jen, how are you? You know what? And I love Velma was my, oh my gosh. I need to be Velma this Halloween. That's who I need to dress up as. Sexy Velma. Yeah, because you know what I do for Halloween? I do sexy whatever, because I'm not going to be shamed. I'm not going to be shamed. If I want to be sexy for Halloween, I'm going to be. Listen, those aren't the thrills you're looking for, Bethany. Those aren't the thrills. Do you really want to be chased down by an axe wielding murderer? Sherry, I don't get camping. I've got bugs in my own yard to make me miserable. Thank you. I just don't understand it. Yes, this is a nightmare to me. And the thing about Friday the 13th that's so interesting is like everybody seems to know the tale. Like they're like, oh yeah, rumor has it. This mentally challenged kid, which isn't how they said it back in the day. That's not how they said it. But they'd be like, rumor has it, this mentally challenged kid drowned while the kids were watching him, and then now he comes back and murders us all. What? Why do you know this and you still at this damn camp? Like, listen, the second that you said rumor has it, I've been like, oh, time to pack my shit up. I will see you guys later. Is it daylight? Good. Goodbye. Like so fast. I would have been gone. So you would, there would have been dust just off the back. I would be like, deuces, bye bitches. Cause I am not going to stay at this place. But obviously that's the fun of horror, right? Because we all know watching it that these are things we wouldn't do. Like when they're like, let's go stay the night at this like murder house. You know, we wouldn't do that. Also, I watched House on the Left. The house on the is that the house on the left of the house on the, with Jennifer Lawrence? Horrible. I finally watched it. Horrible. It's a horrible movie. I don't know who greenlit. It's so boring. That movie was one of those movies where I thought it was going to be scary, and then I was just like, this isn't scary at all. Bethany, how are you? How are you? Alive? Yes. That's how bad it was, James. I don't remember it. I was like, it's the last house. The last house on the left was absolutely terrible. And I don't mean to be rude, but I was just about to hit that, James. Thank you. Give me 1 second. We'll hit that one. The last house on the left is so terrible because it's not even just that it's cliched. It's that you can like see everything coming. And for me, it was just like, and I get that it's more of a thriller than a horror, but like there's some kind of horror element. Anyway, and I have a thing about thriller. Like it's the same. Like it's just a different division of horror. That's all. Thrillers are essentially horror with a lot less gore. But like people are still getting murdered. Like don't get it twisted. But hi T. Ooh, yes. You know what? I keep missing all these, and you know what? You need to start telling, like, you just need to post these more so I can see them because I don't get all of your, like, there's people where I get their notifications because they're always doing like badass shit. But Last House on the Left was so bad because everything to me personally was very telegraphed from start to finish. It's just like, hey, rumor has it she still lives in the woods, and you're like, okay, so she's gonna be in the fucking woods. Yeah, okay. So she is in the woods, and then they're like, oh, her brother lives in the house, and you're like, there's something wrong with that dude. There's obviously something wrong. Is there something wrong with him? Yes, there is. There's something wrong with him. It's just as it goes along, and you're like, is she gonna make out with the fucking strange dude? Yeah, because they like took elements of Scream, so obviously she's doing that same shit. It just, to me, by the time it was done, I was like, so this is the movie y'all made. This is a bad movie. Because even the elements, like, here's the thing I really don't like, especially in a modern day movie, is the idea that like bunches of people will get, like, especially high school. Let's just move it to high school. The idea that like in a public setting, like at a football game or some bullshit, that a bunch of guys will like beat up another guy. Like that's not like this, that is not a high school experience. Like people do that shit. Like they do it, but it's not on school fucking property. Like that's not something that they're doing. Get the fuck out of here. Now, sleepaway camp. I finally saw that for the first time last year. You guys, when I tell you, I have never laughed so hard in my life. Now, I get that back in the day that was really good, but like if you, by today's standards, the reveal scene just takes me out every time because it's like so obviously like a dummy. It was too much for my blood. I was like, I was dying because okay, so if you guys don't know what Sleepaway Camp is, it's this movie about camp, and there's this weird girl. And like the beginning of it is, I always still find it confusing. I had to watch it like 4 times to really see what happened at the beginning, because there's like twins, and then one of the twins gets like killed, and you just see like the girl twin is left, or is she? And then she's like older and she has to go to camp, and the parents are douchebags. So she's at camp, y'all, I cannot, like, I'm trying to say this without laughing. So she's at camp, and like everybody's trying, because the like 70, like late 70s and 80s, like there was like this thing where like everybody was always trying to like make out. I don't know why. Like camp was what you did. Like at camp, you made out. But people started dying at this camp. No cap. They're all dying at the camp. And the end of this movie is, listen, what I'm going to tell you is the twin, like, the girl child did not survive. It was the boy child, and he had been forced to behave like a girl this whole time. And when he does the end of it is him standing there like, "Ah," with his carrot just right out there, hair and all, like it was just wow, like it was one of those moments where like when I see it today, it cracks me up. But I get how back then it would have been insane. And actually that can like if you think about it, that movie is probably one of the films that gave some people like a distrust of trans people in a lot of ways. Because if you look at a lot of horror films and like not even just horror films, but movies back in the day, like trans people, alternative carnal lifestyles, all of this are depicted in a negative way and a negative stereotype. So I think that like fucks with our brains. But I mean, it obviously didn't fuck me up that much because my dating life is pan. So let me get my eye drops for my baby dry eyes. My baby dry eyes. But yeah, that reveal scene is like honestly one of the favorite, like my favorite things ever. It really is. Emily, you have to see it. You absolutely have to see the end of that because oh my gosh. And the murders were pretty like legit, to be honest. The murders were pretty fucking legit. Like I was like, oh. What, like there were so many camp movies. Have y'all seen You Might Be the Killer? It has Allison Hannigan in it. And they even have a song, You Might Be the Killer. It's a really fun movie. It's like that's another camp movie. Yes. Yes. It is. But here's the good thing about it is I think one of the great things about loving horror is that you see the evolution. Like I'm going to tell y'all right now, rights and the changing of how people are viewed happens in horror first, is what I've noticed. Because you look at how, like zombie movies, almost a large majority, almost all of them that I've ever watched, comment on society. Like even Shaun of the Dead, a horror comedy. It's a horror comedy. It's a zombie movie. It comments on society, and it was commenting on what was happening in Britain at the time, and how like he just didn't even know. Like he was just this walking. He was literally Shaun as this walking zombie, walking through the zombie apocalypse, not even noticing that the world has crumbled around him. Like he has no idea. It sounds familiar. Anyways, he has no idea that the world is crumbling around him. Goes into the store, does all this shit, and it's like. And you're watching laughing, but like that's what we are now. But still, you're watching laughing. But the thing of it is, horror movies seem to touch on these harsh realities very early, and they seem to really pay attention to that and grab onto it. And sometimes where you might think it's negative, it's not always negative. Like they'll turn it into a positive. So I think that it's amazing. I love horror because obviously, as I said, like that was one of the first places that I saw like black people like me. Like nothing against light skins. I'm just saying it was the first time I saw my skin tone reflected back at me regularly. Even if they died first, damn it, I saw them. And they were like Black people just living Black lives. And that's what I liked about it, is that they were very much out there, just they're being Black people. And it wasn't like, hey, jab, turkey. It was just like they were just Black people living Black lives. And Night of the Living Dead, even the Friday the 13th had, I think it was part 3? Is it part 3? I think it is. Is part Friday the 13th part 3? Is that with the sleeping bag, or is that part 5? But anyway, they're in there. There's like a Black couple. They're college bound. Like all of this stuff that you wouldn't see in a normal movie. Like normally the black people were the sidekicks. They didn't really get to say anything. They weren't really doing anything other than like, yeah, get it. But in, horror films, they have a storyline. They would be able to like walk around, they'd talk. It was absolutely wonderful to see black people doing more than just being like the black friend, so that's what I love. So here it's still fun. A lot of people think that, and in a lot of ways it is, but it's also about like the failures of whiteness in a lot of ways. And then it's also about how society is destructive and how, like, for instance, is it Dawn of the Dead where they all go to the mall? That was very much a comment on like where like consumerism and how it had gotten that, when even with their brain dead and they're all just marching to the mall, like all of these zombies are marching over to the mall with no brains. Like they're just like, and it's like almost like your body doing muscle memory, like muscle memory. Go to the mall, be a sheeple, which I'm drinking right now. I don't know if that makes me a sheeple, but I feel like it, because I feel like anybody not drinking right now, aside from people who don't drink. Like, oh, really, T? You're not going to be live tonight? You know what? I'm emotional. Yes, same. I started this out pretty emotional, and I'm like I had to like kind of slide out of it because I was just like, I can't. So that is why we are talking about, yes, we got the devil's lettuce. We got vodka. Okay, I don't know if you meant this to sound sexy, Sherry, but I'm frosting my cake. So no drinking. Ooh, PBR. All right, we get a little rowdy up here in country. I was like crunchy. Yes, red wine. All right, so you guys might get stuck with me for a little bit of extra time because normally I try to like jump off here in time for T to go live. So I'm going to have to switch up this beer. This one is 11% ABV. So I'm going to put this one to the side before I'm like sloshed, because I will literally be messed up. See, Emily, see, you hear what I'm saying? Y'all, you guys, just quick side note. There is this Australian guy on TikTok. He is an Australian Caucasian man. I have never seen this much cake on a man. Y'all, the cake. I mean, he was talking about how his body has like destroyed or whatever, and like takes off his shirt and walks off. The cake. I was like, Bo was looking at me like I was crazy. I know, y'all. Okay, so here's what happened. I bought this beer because like I like stouts. If you like coffee, if you're a person who's like, I don't really like beer or whatever, but you like, here's how you find a beer that you like. And I'm just like quick random booze knowledge. Know what flavors you like. I guarantee you they can find you a beer that will suit you. So like I like coffee. I like darker flavors. I like hearty flavors. And because I like them, I tell them, I go into the liquor store, I'm like, listen, I like coffee, I like this, I like that. And they'll be like, do you like your coffee black? Do you like with cream? They'll actually ask you some questions, and then you end up with like a good beer. This is a phenomenal beer, by the way. It's Dragon's Milk Bourbon Barrel Aged Stout, hopefully a future sponsor for my channel. I'm like, I only want to be sponsored by booze. But hey, Keisha, but he helped me find that. I got it. I didn't realize it was 11%. And I'm like, so when I was live with Kara and Emily, y'all, I got smashed so fast, which is why my jackass was over there like eating a pork chop. I had to like mute my mic and just start being like, to like soak that thing up, because I was smashed, and I couldn't tell them like, can we just stop this, because like I am fucked it. So like I wasn't expecting that. Yes, ma'am. Please do. Please do. I've been doing it for a while now. Cause like, yeah. Yeah, Keisha, you have to be in a frame for it. Like I watched it anyway because I knew what I was gonna see. But I don't care. Cause I needed to see it because like, man. What? Yes, yes. So here's the, okay. I'm gonna see if I can find this fellow because that cake was something else. I just want to show it to you. I wonder if I'll get copyright infringed or whatever if I show you his cake. But y'all, that it was too much for me. Also, there was this Asian gentleman. Oh my god, the thighs on this boy, he could crack nuts. Hopefully not his own, but you know, I'm just gonna tell you. But this man, this Australian man, I was like, oh, okay, we just wander around with all this cake. All right. And I felt like he should have used that sound where they're like, where do you go with all that ass? 9 o'clock in the morning. I almost died because I just did not understand where it came from. I'm trying to see if I can find it because I have no, like, your liked videos on TikTok just like go in this whole thing. And I don't know how to like filter it to where I'm finding it easily. I don't know. But y'all have to see this. Listen, my TikTok is full of, oh, also, I just need y'all to see my new husband. This gentleman here, that's my new husband. I don't know if you guys know that, but that is my new husband. Let him know. Let him know that he's marrying me, okay? Just like please inform him. He's Maori, I believe. And that is my new husband. We're gonna get together. We're gonna have some carnal pleasure time. And then this gonna be my cub right here. I'm gonna cub up on that boy. Now we're getting dirty. I'm gonna stop it. I cannot find this man with the cake. Oh, I think I found him in his cake. Wait, let me see. Nope, I didn't find him. But anyhow, while I look for his cake, what y'all saying over here? You say you're not a man with full thighs. Y'all. Thank you. James, you didn't like the, okay, you didn't like my husband? All right, shoulders, head. I was gonna sing head, shoulders, knees, and toes. But I got a lot of boos on TikTok that don't know they gonna be with me. They don't know, but they're going to. I love all good. Like, listen, here's the thing. Look at this. First of all, Maori ain't white though. Maori is not. Let me see here. I can't find Mr. Cake. No, they're like, so here's the thing about all of my brown fellas that I love. They too young, girl. They are too young. They're like, just turned 19. I'm like, no, I'm gonna get up off of that because I'm not gonna be seen. I'm not getting in trouble. I'm not getting in trouble. I am not getting in trouble. My life is not about getting in trouble. I can't find Mr. Cake, y'all. If I find him, I will definitely like I'll link his TikTok below so that y'all can go find his cake. Oh, girl. I know. Okay, so I hide all my likes because, see, here's the thing. So Emily, I hide my likes on TikTok. I think I also hide my likes on YouTube. Here's the reason why. Because I am quite political at times, and there are very political TikToks that I like, and I don't want people getting shitty with me on what I like. So I just I keep it hidden. Listen. My TikTok, okay. So if you don't know how the For You page works on TikTok, let me just explain it to you. What you like is what you will see. this is honestly the most intelligent algorithm I have ever seen in my life, okay? Because I regularly get gingers, fine ass black men, Maori, Samoan, like Islander, Asian men, loads of them, loads of women, but almost everybody has tattoos. Like, Britt, that's been rescheduled. It's next Friday. We are doing it next Friday. I'm very excited. Listen. First of all, I have neither of those things. Y'all, you know what, when I'm doing, like in my car, I'll have my, I'm sorry, I'm quarantined too, but New York came to me. So, yes, listen, the culture, the flavor, the seasoning. I'm like, Keisha, our Patreon live is 3 Eastern, 2 Central. First of all, I just find people attractive. Like, I'm like, I had to explain to my mama today about your freckles, because she was like, why would anybody put on freckles? I'm like, because they cute. And then she saw them. She was like, oh. My mama doesn't make up, and she doesn't really get a lot of it. Britt, thank you. You know what? I think you sent me a Marco with polo, and I haven't responded because I'm a dick face. Listen, I'm sorry, y'all. Listen, let me just apologize because I got mine. Okay, I got mine. So like, I'm not, I'm just whoop, whoop. Like right now, you know what song we'll be playing? The Venga bus is coming and everybody's jumping. Because I'm so happy. But I think Britt got a Marco Polo for me that was hilarious. Like now that I mess with it. Girl, no. Like, so I don't necessarily have freckles. I have moles like my grandpa had. I got to show y'all one day a picture of my grandma, because like apparently I look a lot like my grandma. So I need to show y'all pictures. Those freckles were hella cute. I actually screenshot it so that I could send it to my family members and stuff. Like I sent, listen, y'all leave me alone. All right. You know what? Don't brag, Britt. We know you're married. You're getting some ass. Moving on. No, I'm just kidding. Yes, I felt so bad because like I tagged Alicia. For those of y'all that don't know, I tagged Kinky Sweat on Instagram, and I was like, girl, I don't know if this is what you have these Friday stretches, like this is what you intended them for, but thank you, boo. So like, and I'm gonna excuse me. I'm gonna link the channels. I'm gonna link Emily. I'll be linking Britt. I'll be linking T's channels down below. You may not see them until this actually renders, but I will be linking them all down below, because you know what? Friendship is friendship and loves is loves. And these are people, I wouldn't link people that I didn't genuinely enjoy and like. If I don't like people, we're not gonna do that. You're right. I'm sorry. Friday the 13th. Back to Friday the 13th. There are so many movies in this. There's so many good kills in Friday the 13th, okay? Because like, so the black couple in Friday the 13th, that's what I was getting at. Excuse me. Is it her? Is the female, is the woman that gets a kazoo in the eye, or is it her boyfriend? Like a kazoo straight up, just like, burr. Then there's one of my favorite deaths is this girl who, and the reason I love this death is because it is so obvious that it's a male stuntman when she's going down. All right. Because she's standing there, she's got red hair, she's in a blue, like man's shirt. And, you know, Jason comes in, he grabs her, he flings her out the window. This is one of my favorite deaths because he throws her out the window. And y'all, when I'm telling you her feet are like this big, and I'm like, those aren't her feet. Those are not her feet. She's got these like giant man feet, and you can just tell the difference in the body. And that is one of the things I love about watching like old school horror is like when you can kind of tell when they like switch out, when they're like, all right. So what's great is like he throws her out and she's like, ah, and you can see the stunt, like you can see that it's a stunt man now, and her feet are so big. And Emily, I think I showed that to you in a Marco Polo. I was like, look at her feet. Like, that always kills me. Y'all, we will. I need to get me a bidet, like real talk. Like I do. I need one. You haven't seen Friday the 13th? If you have Prime, Sherry, here's the thing, guys. If you have Prime, all of the Friday the 13th movies are on there right now. All of them. I feel like all of them are, and they're not like extra. You don't have to rent them or anything like that. They're all on Prime. All of them are on Prime. Yeah, like I swear, like that's gonna be a shirt. Look at a coven is pro bidet. Just walking around wearing pro bidet. Like I'm gonna put it like it's voting and put like pro bidet. Look at it, gang. But yeah, so like also what's weird to me is how many people don't appreciate who played Jason. Like because like there was one person I knew, like I dated, I guess I could say dated. Did I date him? Did I don't know. Now I can't remember his name, and I always remember it. And now, like, I swear to you guys, the moment I get like on camera, I forget the names of everything. Like, I know what his name is, and as soon as somebody, I know one of y'all is going to put it in the comments, and as soon as you do, I'm going to be like, oh, yes, that's his name. Because he didn't actually get to play Freddy. He didn't get to play Jason in the Freddy versus Jason movie. And it was because they wanted Jason to be so much bigger than Freddy. And which was like a big deal because they wanted him to be like kind of towering and big. Weird shit happens like that. What is his name? Somebody tell me. Cause like he's my favorite fucking Jason. Like, what the fuck? Anyways, I swear I'm gonna like lose my whole mind because I'm gonna just be sitting there like, how come I don't remember what his name is? But also, guys, Kane Hodder. Thank you, James. Kane, the best Jason. Listen, he gave Jason life. Okay, he did. You can fight me. Cake is that ass girl. Cake. Hey, India, how are you? Emily, you are Moss. Kane Hodder, best. So there are people who just, I don't know. I don't feel like that's going to be like horror gatekeeping, but I'm like, I don't feel like you're a horror fan if you don't agree that Kane Hodder, best Jason. There are people who are like, well, it doesn't matter who's behind the mask. It did, because like you could tell like he did a lot of acting behind this mask. Y'all can fight all you want, but he did. He had a way of like, because like for instance, Kane Hodder, like when he interviews, he tells you like he never looked down. He never looked down to see where he was going because he wanted to have that very driving force that he was like looking at you and coming for you. Ooh, girl. Yes. And then, yes. And then also like, okay, I always had trouble remembering which Friday the 13th this was because I feel like they did something with the order at one point in time. So it like switched on what it was. Because at one point it was 5 and another point it was 7. But it was the one with the girl who could, like use her mind. And she would go like this. Like, y'all, I'm so stupid. But that's what she would do. And she would like be like, and the mom was like, ah, and because the her psychiatrist or whatever was trying to like get Jason to come to life. I don't know why exactly, but he seemed to want Jason to come to life, and she did it. She brought him to life. And then the psychiatrist threw her mom in front of Jason like that pig. And that's why you don't trust dudes. No, I'm just kidding. Like when it comes to danger, they gotta throw you out in front. It's not. There's several of them, and they're all different. And like, yes, Wheelchair Boy was fine. He was fine. Or as we like, it was fine. There's okay. So I think the only one I haven't really seen is I think Jason Goes to Hell I haven't seen. And I think, is it Jason and is the one where he's in space? I don't think I've seen that one. So I'm just like, I love that. I'm gonna stand Friday the 13th till the day I die. Because Kane Hodder, and like, if you guys knew all the shit that like, so one of the things that really upset me about, because I still love Friday the 13th. I still love Jason versus Freddy versus Jason. I still love that, but I really wish that they had put Kane Hodder in there, because that would have been like a piece of history. Like, because we all know, like, you know, Robert Englund's getting old. He's not going to do that forever. Kane Hodder's getting old. He's not going to do that forever. Keisha, what is wrong with you? That's from Nightmare. Yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street. Yes, they did. Like, he got jacked up pretty harsh. Pretty harsh. Holy crap. No, that's because I'm in the live and not the top. I'm being a jackass. I was like, what? But yeah, I mean, y'all, the other thing I liked about Friday the 13th is like a lot of the horror tropes really do come from Friday the 13th. Like, some come from Halloween, but a big chunk of them actually come from Friday the 13th. Like the, Brad, this isn't funny. This isn't funny, Brad. That comes from Friday the 13th. The tripping over your broken ass heel, like you're running in heels for no apparent reason through the woods, and then you like break your ankle and you're like, ah, and then just sit there and be like, ah, Friday the 13th. Like, it all comes from there. Like, I feel like a large majority of that shit comes from there. Because like Halloween gave you the in-house, like hello? Halloween gave you that. But Friday the 13th really gave you a large majority of those weird, like a large majority of those tropes of running and breaking your, like, why wouldn't you just, listen, if somebody's chasing me with a machete, I'm taking my heels off. It's fine. It's fine. And that's also why I don't wear them now. Yes. Yes, it is. Freddy versus Jason, is that on Prime? You know what? I don't know. I need to check, because so here's the thing about Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th. They typically alternate between being on Prime, Shudder, and Netflix for free. Like, they go in the circle. That's what I've noticed, is they'll go in a little bit of a circle. And so when Friday the 13th is all like, so if it's on like for instance, okay, I'm trying to like think about how to say this. So if Friday the 13th is on Netflix, Prime is going to charge you. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, they're like, oh, you want to buy this? And you're like, no, I want to watch it for free. But it's on Netflix, so you can. Then it'll be on Prime, and you don't pay anything for it. And then I think last year sometime, all of the Nightmares, like all of them, were on Shudder. So they kind of like those three streaming services, I feel like, work together in concert. Like, they actually work together to like bring programming. So, because like at one point I had wanted to buy the remake of Friday the 13th, which I loved. I know a lot of people didn't like it. I fucking loved it because it paid homage to like all of the, like essentially paid homage to like all of the Friday the 13th movies, just like, and it was awesome. Like I loved that so much, you guys. Like, and also, I mean, who doesn't want a little Jared Padalecki in their life? Like, he's like tall. Well, then, definitely don't watch The Girl with All the Gifts. Yes, so I used to own all of the Nightmare movies, and I think sometime in between like getting divorced and moving, I lost a few of them. So, ooh, if I had to take on one killer, which would it be? Might be of the Holy Trinity? Freddy. Here's why. Because I can pull Freddy out of the dream world into the real world and kill him, and he's like fucking done for a while. But Jason and Michael Myers, you never know when they're dead. So, and they always disappear. You know what I mean? Like you're like, haha, I killed them, and then you like think you won, and then they're just like gone. So like, I'm not about that. I'm not about that. I would rather fight. Like I would rather fight Freddy because I could like drag him out and be like, haha, now you're in my world, bitch, and like fuck him up, and then like that would save me. Ooh, more. Let's do more horror questions. That's so fun. Like who would I? Yes. Well, yeah, but at least when you ended, like when you killed Freddy at the end of, like you killed Freddy, and you just didn't know, like you never knew if they were going to make a new one. That was one thing that I liked that they did a lot was like you never knew. Oh God, James, teeth. Oh, teeth. I did see that. There's some very valid, and this is what I mean about horror commenting on your real life and how everything's going, because teeth is one of those. Definitely comments on real life, the assault of women, how it's handled, and taking that power back, unintentionally or intentionally, either way. Real talk, I literally just turned to the side because I was like, look at my highlight. Like, be ready for that. Just be ready for it because it's a little. I'm not going to tell you now because you're here, so I don't want to tell you about teeth, but it's about female sexuality. I need my killer to talk shit, otherwise it's just regular murder. You right, girl. So for those of you watching on the, if you're not watching with the chat going, Courtney had said that she saw teeth with her first boyfriend and her mom kept looking at her boyfriend like, see what happens? Yes, Teeth is one of those movies that like, you're like, also you're like, I wish mine did that. Anyways, V, you watched it too? Yes. Yes. I'm so excited by all the horror. Oh God, you gave me the coughing laugh. Oh no. I cannot breathe now. I can't breathe. Oh my God. Oh gosh, I'm about to die. Oh my gosh. Y'all, that movie had me oof. And then I recently just watched something. Let me see. Because your IMDb, I like to keep it because it keeps all your like searches. I feel like I recently just watched this movie Extremity, which is odd. It's like it's kind of okay if you haven't seen it. Like it's on Shudder right now, so it's like all right. Like it's good ish. I don't know. Like I'm gonna have to watch this again. It has a 4.1 rating, but horror has weird ratings on IMDb, so I don't necessarily trust all of them. Um, but I am actually waiting to see because it is now what? It's 2020. We haven't had a new Freddy movie in a while. And I'm waiting to see what's going to happen with that because they're not just going to let the franchise die. They're just not. Like that's classic. They're going to bring it back. So I'm curious as to where that's going to go. Um, I'm wondering, like Halloween already has its trifecta coming. Like there's two more coming out. So we have that. Friday the 13th, I feel like they're going to do another revamp of it for those who just were assholes about the other one. So, ooh. I have not seen Suspiria yet. I know that's terrible, but for some reason I don't want to watch it. I just don't know why. A killer who talks shit is a good rival for a tourist because he'd be like, I'll kill you, and then it's over for him. We gotta let him know he's wrong. Girl. My favorite Freddy kill. It's got to be the two. Ooh, okay. So there's actually two. My favorite kind of funny death is when he shoves that bitch into the TV because he's like, "Welcome to prime time, bitch," and like chucks her in the TV, or pulls her into it. That's boosh. The most gruesome kill for me. Listen, Nightmare on Elm Street 3 is like slept on. That is honestly one of the scariest ones in the bunch, and Freddy was making jokes. The reason is because I think it's not Joey, it's the other guy, and I can't remember his name, but the veins. When he like slits his veins and is using his veins to like make him a puppet. Yo, that's one of my most frightening, like horrific deaths. Like that is honestly to this day one of the worst deaths, like worst deaths from Freddy. And then I guess not just if I had to go one more death that I loved, but also I found horrific was when he turned that one girl into a roach and then just crushed her in the Roach Motel. That was rough. I hated it. Listen, Keisha, I'm not trying to not be able to sleep. No, I'm not trying to. The blender bed. See, yeah, the Roach Motel, like, yeah, that just oof. Because the thing is, she's working out. Okay, so if you haven't seen that, yes, he turned him like even now, even though the effects aren't super fantastic, they still they still kind of hold up if you don't put them in 4K, which don't, but they still kind of hold up. What he does is he like goes, he like cuts him here, and like you see his like veins like open. He's like, and then he does it on his like feet, and then like the veins come out, and then he's just being like, and he's like, oh, and he's like fighting it the whole, like that's it's so terrible because he's fighting and fighting, and he's like, ugh, ugh, and then he gets him to like the ledge of this window, and it's like a really fucking tall ass building, right? It's a huge tall building, and he's just like, and then all of the other patients in there like screaming, really like, and they're trying to save him, and then Freddy fucking just cuts the strings, y'all, cuts the strings, and then he falls to his death. It is one of the like most disturbing kills I've seen in a long time. The Roach Motel one is also very disturbing because the girl it happens to doesn't like roaches, and like she like lifts weights a lot, and so she's like lifting weights, and here's where it goes like fucked up. Like she's lifting, and then like it goes, and her arms go like blah, 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 and then like fucking roach legs start coming out, like roach legs start being like pow, plow. And then she just slowly starts becoming a roach. Her face peels away like she got roach face. It is horrible. It is horrible. And then like he just crushes her in there. Just the words. Yeah, so like that song is forever creepy. Like there's not a time. Listen, I'm 40 years old. I'm telling you right now that if I walked outside and that song was playing, I'm coming the fuck inside. Like I'm done. Like I am finished. Like I'm not, I'm like, no, we about to die. I'm grabbing Bo. I'm like, no, we gotta live. We have got to live because absolutely not. That is one of like, honestly, one of my all time, like, ooh, yes, Bethany, yes. The worst Freddie death. I feel like, honestly, it was in, is it part 4 or part 5 where she takes all his souls like in the church or something. I think it's 5. And I didn't like that one. Yes. 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 Tina. Yes. I have not seen that yet, Mindy. I have not seen Motel Hell yet. Like I watch all kinds of horror films. I will watch some that are like I watch like Dale and Tucker versus Evil. I watch some that are like bad funny. Like they didn't mean it to be bad funny, but it is bad funny to me. But then there's, oh guys, if you have not watched the Hell House trilogy, it's found footage movies. See, and that got me fucked up on clowns all over again. All over again. Because at first when I watched it, but there's a creepy song in there. Ding, ding, ding. No. No. I feel like horror to me is like math. I respect it. I appreciate people who are good at with it, but I'm not getting involved. A full video of a killer clowns. Yes, ma'am. I will watch it. Cause let me see. Is that what it's called? Like Hell House? I think that is what it's called. And I'm hoping that like the Legend of Hell House, I think might be it, but I'm not sure because I randomly come across it and now I watch them every time, even though like they actually still give me the like massive creeps. Like now watching it. Like as an adult. Yeah, it's Hell House LLC. So this is Hell House. It is a found footage movie. And it's like 5 years after an unexplained malfunction causes the death of 15 tour goers and staff on the opening night of a Halloween haunted house tour. A documentary crew travels back to the scene of the tragedy to find out what really happened. Y'all, that movie, ooh. And you have to watch, like, honestly, watch all 3 of them because, like, you'll watch the second one and kind of think it's like shit a little bit, but then you watch the third one and it like brings it back up. It's kind of like how Scream 4, like Scream 3 kind of redeemed Scream 2, and then Scream 4 redeemed Scream 3. So, like, yeah, that was not that, like, and it's funny because I have Shudder. So the first time I watched it, I was like the first time I saw it, I kind of came in like maybe 45 minutes into the movie. And I was like, this is stupid. Then the creepy song started playing. I was like, I live by myself. Me drinking this big ass bottle, like it looks like it, but this is only like 5%. And this is Ace pear cider, by the way, or Ace pineapple cider. I normally get pear, but they only have the big bottle and pineapple. And I can't actually find the pear in 6-packs. So I'm making do. Go ahead, India, take your burgers out. The burgers I don't like because I started a whole feud on Twitter by accident. Like a whole ass feud by accident. I'm like, I'm so sorry. So yeah, it was Hell House, like creeps me the fuck out. And you know what else actually like is creepy? It's because is it Terrifier? It's Terrifier. It's I have like weird levels of gore that I can't, and I never know what gore is going to upset me. Like there's some gore that doesn't upset me. There's other gore that doesn't. Like in Hush, when he crushes her hand and her fingers went like boop, like that very much upset me. But then there's like other parts of what I think if it has to do with like this part of the body, like hands and feet and ankles, like I can't handle it. I'm like, no, ma'am, I'm not dealing with it. But like other gore I can handle, because at some point he cuts the boobies off of this girl. He cuts off her melons and then he wears the melons. I don't know why, but I think, isn't there supposed to be another one in the works? Ghost Demon Based. Just rewatched Exorcism. Okay, so Ghost Demon Based. If you haven't seen The Conjuring, yes, see that. Is it The Last Exorcism? Let me see. I'm like looking. The Last Exorcism would be a good one. That is really, really creepy. Let me see if I can find any that are like it. The Devil Inside. The Right. The Right is a good one. So yeah, like I love having this because I'm able to kind of quickly go through here and let you know what I have actually watched. If I haven't seen it, I won't tell you. The Conjuring 2, obviously. Annabelle Comes Home is actually really good. That one's good. There's one in between that isn't as good. Insidious, if you haven't seen that. Sinister 1 and 2. So yeah, there's a bunch of those. Ooh, what is another, like there was one that I was just thinking about and I can't remember it now. And if you haven't seen it's just called Devil. That is a really good movie. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I liked it. I thought it was very well done. I think like the problem with the horror community sometimes is that like in the horror community, people will say things like, "Oh, I want to see something that hasn't been done. This is boring. I've already seen that." When somebody does something that hasn't been done, they're bored. They're like, I didn't understand. I got confused. Like it was just a weird deal. And so you're like, okay, well, they made something you hadn't seen before, but it's not what you wanted. Like, we're so confused. Ooh, really? Isn't there like, didn't they sued at some point? I feel like the people who like the actual Conjuring house or like the filmed, I don't know. Anyway, they sued. Yes. The Shining. Here's Johnny. Sorry, my ear itched. Yeah, Devil is good. Ooh, Haunting in Connecticut is actually really good. Yeah, that is a really good one. I actually like possession movies. Like, yes, yes, thank you. Listen, I tried to be nice about me not liking red meat. I saw her in a TikTok actually, Erica Badu. Like, her daughter has TikTok. I have not watched this yet. I have not watched that. I did start watching some weird show, and I'm gonna have to go back and start watching it again because it's kind of this odd thriller. Has anybody seen the movie? Is it Tao? Has anybody seen that? It's a Netflix film. Like, I think that, yeah, yes. There is a movie called Tao, which is amazing. Like this one's more on that like thriller side, but I really like it. And it's really, really good. Let me see if I can find images to like help you guys out right quick. Tao. This is really, really like, honestly, I didn't expect to like it as much as I did, but it's a really good movie. It kind of gives you like, there's kidnapper creeps in it. Like, I don't know how better to explain it, but it's really good. But Tao is actually like, Tao is one of those Netflix movies that is actually really good. Y'all. Yes, because her daughter is beautiful. So I do mostly just watch horror film or TV. I have tried playing horror video games. However, I get like too stressed out trying to play. I'm like, I'm not going around the corner, and then I turn it off. If it makes you feel any better though, like I was watching the show Sex Education, and if I see like humiliation coming, I turn it off. So like I was like, oh no. So because I think I'm like on episode 6 of season 2, and I was like, nope, he's about to be humiliated. I can't watch it. But I do watch mostly horror films and TV shows. I used to read a lot of horror books. I don't as much anymore. A lot of that just has to do with like not having the time that I used to have. But I'm like, oh, I love horror. Like, I don't know if you guys can see my, like, I have my, like, yeah, that's him. Like, I have a little, and this is like Tim Curry at like, oh, look, we were the same twinsies. Okay, I'm done. I'm being weird. Girl, I can't. I tried playing a couple of them, and I was like I got too stressed. So the one I did want to play was that one that everybody else was playing, like Dead Till Dawn. Is that it? And I wanted to try that. Yes, girl. Everybody. I feel like everybody who watched that did not. I did. Freddy Krueger is also a reason I didn't like baths, because I was always like, you know what, you got to stay awake in this bath because Freddy Krueger is going to come up here and I wasn't about that life. I was like, no, he's not going to get me in the tub. Yeah, I can't, like, I can watch people play. I just can't do it. Until Dawn. I'll see, because I tried playing Silent Hill. No, absolutely not. Let me look and see Identity. Let me just check, because like, y'all, I've been watching so much stuff that like now I can't even remember like the names of anything. With John Cusack. I have seen that, but I haven't seen it in a long time. I'm going to need to rewatch that. Thank you, love. I'm going to need to rewatch that because I haven't seen it in a long time. Yes, I need to watch that because I haven't seen it in a really long time. And that's got a 7.3 rating. And I have not seen that in forever. I watched it, like I watched Room, 1808, something like that, 1804. I watched that. I rewatched that. Yes, James, of course I've seen Silver Bullet with the late, great Corey Haim. I love that movie to this day. It's been on Shudder for a little bit, so I think I can watch it on Shudder if I want to watch it again. If you guys don't know, Corey Haim was in a movie called Silver Bullet, which is an adaptation of a Stephen King book. I don't remember if it's a short story. I think it's a short story, but I'm not positive. Silver Bullet, honestly, one of the best ever. And like, they still don't have wheelchairs that do what his did. Like, man. All right, then I'm going to check that out. I'm going to rewatch it because I remember watching it because John Cusack, which a lot of people don't realize, but he's kind of a horror guy. Like he's not in the horror people are used to, but yeah, he's in it. Horror movies are the reason I don't want to have a medicine cabinet in my house. I'm not about to open that for a Tylenol closet and have someone looking back at me. Courtney, for real. Oh my gosh. I just watched, like, not just, but there was this movie I watched with this girl, and it turned out very good. She was like this pale Caucasian girl with dark hair, and she has a mirror self. Ooh, what was that called? Does anybody remember that? 1408. Thank you. That is very upsetting. Like it actually kind of makes you like weepy a little bit. Does it make anybody else like a little weepy, like sad? Yeah, so like that's why like it is the thing about it, which I get annoyed sometimes with a lot of people who'll be like, well, you have to, like, the book is better. And I'm like, the book is a different medium. And I'm a person who will do that. Unless you completely fuck it up, I'll always be like, the book is a different medium than film. And the reason we say that is because when you're reading a book, you decide how everyone looks. Like they may give you a description, but you've got an idea in your mind of how every character looks, how everything went down, and all of that. So when they put it to screen, it may not be what you were hoping for, what you personally wanted. And so it doesn't go as well. And then also there's like always parts of the book that you want that they didn't put in and other people want that they didn't put in. So it just kind of becomes this like little circle of stuff where people just get upset because they're like, well, they didn't do this and they didn't put that in. And to some people, that particular thing matters. To other people, it doesn't matter. It's kind of like this back and forth battle. What's up? Let me see here. Girl, I know. Listen, all this stuff, Mindy, all the stuff with the Corys, like that's gotten rough. Ooh, now we're asking each other. Yes, Kay Van, like, thank you. So that's the thing. I feel like a lot of times we just kind of forget that like it's a totally different medium and they're casting people sometimes not that bad. Like but they're casting people and they're doing all this stuff. And here's the thing you have to remember, especially with horror, it's harder to get people to like big names to be in horror. So it's even more difficult to cast somebody who resembles the character. And honestly, see? And that's the thing. I had to realize because I honestly did used to be a person who would get very, very upset, be like, the book is better, the book is better. But what I realized is I'm like, okay, if I look at them as two separate mediums and stop like trying to compare the two, then I'm okay. So like even with remakes, with the exception of Child's Play, even with remakes, I have to take a step back for a second and be like, okay, I have to remember that when this was made, this, and this were going on. They couldn't talk about this. So like the Nightmare on Elm Street one that so many people get pissed off about, I look at it this way. When it was originally made by Wes Craven, that is still a classic and it's still gorgeous and nothing takes away from that. When they remade it to add the things that Wes Craven couldn't add at that time because of what was going on. There was a lot that he originally had intended for Freddy Krueger to be, a child attacker, if you will. But because at that time there was a lot of hysteria going on, he could not, in good conscience, have his movie have that going on because he didn't want to be like shitty about it. I know. Like everybody watched all 37 hours of Lord of the Rings, so. Where's Barry? Hi, Barry. Oh, look, I'm so happy you guys are out here talking about your favorite um Seven Kings, Stephen King. Yes, there's so many. There's so many that like Exorcist has them too. I think what I'll do is I might go over some of the stuff that I read, like what that I watched in that Shudder series, and we'll talk about that. You didn't, Barry. Neither did I. The original Nightmare on Elm Street was the first horror movie I ever saw back when it first came out. I didn't sleep for weeks afterwards. I think most of us didn't. We were like not excited. I mean, I know you were 7, but still. The Void messes me up, Karen. Every time I watch it, like, it's like a hell on earth type of movie. They've done some remaking of Creepshow on Shudder. Some of them are good. Some of them are like, there's one I genuinely cannot watch because it actually creeps me the fuck out. And I mean creeps me out because it's this. So this girl has this. The little girl has a dollhouse, and in the dollhouse, like somehow this zombie head shows up in her dollhouse. It starts fucking shit up. Okay. So the little girl starts getting other little dolls and characters. Like she brings a policeman into the dollhouse, and then she wakes up, the policeman's dead. So it's like all of this stuff that keeps happening. I'm like, oh, bye, Keisha. I'll see you tomorrow, ma'am. I'll see you tomorrow at 5. But like, and this is talking about it is like creeping me out because it's just the head keeps moving in her little dollhouse, and then every time she gets another character, like she even gets a Native American shaman and puts it in there to like hopefully like shaman off the fucking zombie head. Native American ends up dead, and then the little girl gets upset, so she takes the little zombie head out of her dollhouse and throws it, and then she tries to find it, she can't find it, and then it's like under her bed as a real life like fucking zombie. I can't. There's something that really bothered me about that. I can't watch it. Like every time that one's on, I cannot watch it. It scares, and I think the reason it scares me is the idea of like anything in your house like that's miniature, that's a model. I can't. I'm like, oh. No. Oh no. Tusk is one of the most grotesque movies I have seen in a really long time. In a really long time. It like, and it's not even like, and here's the thing, what's weird about it is like it's a love-hate relationship. Like there are people who absolutely love the movie and like see what like for what it's worth, and there's other people who are like, it wasn't scary like that. I'm like, it was fucking, to me it was frightening. To me, the fact that someone would essentially turn you into a walrus for their own pleasure, like that's some psycho bullshit that I was like not prepared for when it happened. Oh no. Is this gonna get me in trouble though, Mary? Or am I gonna be in trouble? Oh, like, am I gonna be okay? Or am I gonna be in trouble? Girl, Tusk is gonna fuck you up. I'm not lying. Like I had to blink a few times. I had to like cleanse my palette with something else, girl, because it was much. It was a mess. Yes, Courtney. Okay, just a freaky experience. Yeah, I don't like that, and I like Daniel Radcliffe in Horns. Isn't in that? Yeah, I think it's Daniel Radcliffe. I liked him in Horns. That was really good. But oh gosh, all of the Cube movies. I loved all of the Cube movies. So interesting. Yes, even the Cabbage Patch dolls. Hide your dolls. Ooh, the thing just okay. The Thing is in line with Fallen and any of the alien kind of like aliens taking over your body, because I don't like the idea that you could be talking to someone and it's not them anymore. No, absolutely not. And you don't know it's not them until they're like, and they eat your face. You love your Cabbage Patch dolls, never scared. Yeah, I am not a fan. Also, listen, y'all can laugh all you want, but the original Care Bears movie, Care Bears, and Care Bears 2, The Next Generation, I am classifying those as horror. Here's why. Hear me out. Hear me out. There's a guy named Nicholas, all right? And everybody makes fun of Nicholas. He wants to be a magician. And he's trying real hard to be a magician. And the Italian magician guy won't really let him do it. I can't remember his name. But then Nicholas finds this like fucking book, all right? He finds this book. And the book has a sorceress in it, all right? All right. So the book's got this sorceress in it. And she be like neck out, like fucking face out of this book. And she be like, Nicholas. Like she is whispering evil into, I get that it's a cartoon. Just hear me out. Nicholas is over here being like, and he's like doing all this like magic with her sorcery, creepy help. And yes. And so she's over there just like, Nicholas. So he ends up putting a spell on his magician, like, you know, what is it? Mentor, his magical mentor. So he's like asleep the whole time. She is over here fucking up these kids. All right. She is. The sorceress in the book, like her neck out, neck the fuck out. Like she like this. You see how I'm looking crazy? That's how she is out that book. Scary. All right. Then Nicholas is like, listen, I think things are getting a little too crazy, book. I just wanted to be good at magic. And she was like, fuck them kids. And Nicholas was like, what? And she was like, yes, fuck them kids. And he was just like, listen, I don't know that we need to teach them lessons. She's like, oh, we do. And I'm never going to forget this as long as I live. I ain't even seen this movie in several years now, but I'm never going to forget these words because she's like, we must teach them a lesson. A lesson for the children. A lesson for the town. A lesson for everyone. You tell me that that is not an introduction into horror. Tell me that that's not an introduction into horror, because that is. I need to watch The Platform. I have that lined up. There's a couple more where I don't know. I'm going to rewatch Sinister 2 for a specific reason, but I'm going to rewatch Sinister 2. There's a few that I like. There's movies that came out that I want to see, but I don't know that I want to pay the money for it. Because like they're new movies, but you have to pay $20 to own it. So I don't know how I'm feeling about that. Yeah, Karen, we were talking about that Platform. I need to watch that. Ready or Not is the shit. It's fucking amazing. I love it. It was great. Ready or Not is an amazing movie. It's an amazing movie. I love it from start to finish. Audra, that reenactment is Emmy-worthy. Also, you're right. And you should say it. That shit was freaky. Thank you. Thank you. I am just telling you that the Care Bears was on a freaky tip. And y'all just like go back and watch the original Care Bears. That sorceress out of that book was scary as shit. Like, I am a child watching a sorceress in a book guiding a young man to do evil. Green Inferno. Yeah. I didn't like In the Tall Grass. Like, it was okay. It wasn't as good as Gerald's Game. I like Gerald's Game a lot. Dark Crystal is one of the most fabulous films ever made, ever created, ever on the planet. You are correct. The writer's room of the Care Bear staff was all high as fuck. You can't convince me otherwise. Me either, because you cannot tell me that you would inflict that on a child and not realize that that is so scary. Like, oh. No, that's fine. That's fine. The Never Ending Story is actually one of the most frightening movies. Like, that's a frightening child's movie. There's like, it's very like, I haven't watched it again in a long time because it scared me at some point. And like a trait, like all the death, it was just horrific. Like I was sad. Okay, do you guys want, okay. If you've watched The Dark Crystal, this is me being a Skeksis. Hold on. I'm going to do my Skeksis. Wait. Mm. Mm-mm. Mm. That is my Skeksis because they communicated weird. And then also they did this. So there's that. You're welcome. Labyrinth is one of the best movies also ever created. David Bowie's in it. He's got his junk, Hogwarts. And she kept saying his name, like he kept saying they kept saying his name wrong, and he was like, "Oh, it's Hoggle," and don't say I didn't warn ya. And my favorite, like the other thing is when he goes, "Hoggle is Hoggle's friend." Yes, I saw my baby crying hard as babe could cry. What do I do? Yes. Love without your heart, babe. Yes, Labyrinth is the shit. I love that. Dance magic, dance magic, dance. Yes. Listen. Yes, you guys, I love you guys so much. I have like the best subscribers ever, because like, do you know how many people I have to even like ask them if they've ever seen Labyrinth? And they're just like, what? I'm like, how are we friends? Like, how can you live your life and not see Labyrinth? What, you did? Wait. Yes. I have it on like, you went to high school and college with a princess from Never Ending Story? The shit. Henson was amazing. Henson was really like, honestly, like, because Labyrinth is also a horror film. If you don't believe me, watch the fire. Get down with the fire game. When they try to take off Jennifer Connelly's head, I'm like, hey man, her head's not coming off. And they're like popping their heads off and throwing their heads around. No, that was like I look at it now, I'm like, why in the fuck? Like I look at children's programming from like back in our day, and I'm just like, why? How were we really okaying this for our kids? Yes. What do you mean help? We're helping hands. Oh my God, I'm so upset. Like I know all the words to the movie. Ooh, she going that way? She going straight to that castle? Like he didn't do anything. He actually just got up from the couch and was like, fuck you, and he went into the bedroom. Oh my God. Yes. The fire gang was so scary. The fire gang was scary. And like when Bluto is in the bog of eternal stench and he's like, smell bad. No. Bo is partial. Right now he's enjoying The Devil's Rejects because that's what we've been watching. Thank you. Did you say hello? Nah, I said hello, but that's close enough. The little worm. Oh my gosh. You guys, I love you guys so much. You're like bringing me back to my childhood. Give me all the joy. Give me all the joy. No, Bo doesn't like movies, by the way, where dogs jack things up. Although Cujo did make me afraid of, what is that, St. Bernard for like a really long time. I was like, fuck that dog. Yes, that's true. And honestly, a lot of the like grim fairy tales are not like the Cinderella that y'all see today. That is not how it went. Mm-mm. That is a violent, horrible end, by the way. Um, you gotta go potty, baby? Yes, he does. All right, guys. I am gonna have to take my son to do his business. Hi, BB. Hi, BB. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I look forward to seeing you guys next week. When we hang out with Teresa. It's going to be on Friday instead of Saturday. So we're going to do it next Friday. Me and Teresa. I don't know where the time yet. I'll change the time or whatever, but we're going to hang out. I love Legetta Gang. Legetta Gang on Patreon. I will see you guys tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central. We'll be discussing New York. And I love each and every one of you guys. Thank you for hanging out and making my Saturday worthwhile, guys. I love you guys. Until next time, deuces.